You may not think much of them, but sardines, those tiny fish in the tin, might just be one of the most powerful foods you'll ever eat. Low in mercury, rich in protein, calcium, omega-3s, and key vitamins. They support your heart, sharpen your brain, and strengthen your bones, all in a single serving. But here's the catch: most people make at least 3 critical mistakes. These mistakes quietly rob sardines of their nutrition, ruin the flavor, and in some cases even pose a risk to your health. So let me ask you, when you grab a can off the shelf, do you actually know if you're picking the right kind? Do you rinse them before eating, thinking it makes them cleaner? Are you unknowingly tossing out the most nutritious part? The truth is, it's not the sardines that are the problem. It's how we handle them, from the way we store them to the way we cook and serve them. These little fish are often mistreated long before they ever hit the plate. In this video, I'll walk you through the biggest mistakes people make with sardines. Mistakes that seem small, but make a major difference once you understand the science behind them. By the end, you'll know exactly how to eat sardines the right way and get every bit of the nutrition they have to offer. But before we dive in, do me a quick favor. Hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't yet. And if you enjoy videos like this, type yes in the comments so we know to keep them coming. Let's get started. Mistake number 11, overcooking them into mush. Most folks don't realize that canned sardines are already fully cooked before they ever reach the store shelf. That's right, they're pressure cooked and preserved, meaning they're ready to eat straight from the can. But they throw them into sizzling pans, boil them, or cook them way too long. The result? A soggy mess that looks more like paste than fish. Here's the thing, sardines are delicate by nature. Their soft, tender texture is exactly what makes them so easy to enjoy, bones and all. But subject them to high heat, and their structure quickly breaks down. You lose both the shape and the flavor. Overheating sardines can destroy some of their most valuable nutrients. High temperatures significantly degrade omega-3 fatty acids and B vitamins. These are 2 of the biggest reasons we eat sardines in the first place. Omega-3s, especially DHA and EPA, are critical for heart and brain health. Vitamin B12 supports nerve function and energy production. So what's the better way? Think gentle heat, not full-blown cooking. If you're adding sardines to pasta rice or stir-fry, wait until the very end. A minute or 2 is all you need to warm them through without breaking them apart. You preserve the texture, the taste, and the nutrition. Want a bit of crisp? Try placing them under the broiler for just 2 to 3 minutes. That gives you a light golden edge while keeping the inside moist and flavorful. Or place the unopened can in a bowl of hot water for a few minutes. This gently warms the sardines without any direct cooking at all. The bottom line, sardines don't need cooking, they're already done. Your job is simply to treat them with care. Enhance, don't destroy. And when you do, you'll be surprised just how delicious they truly are. Mistake number 10, removing the bones. One of the most common mistakes people make with sardines is pulling out the tiny bones. With larger fish bones can be sharp, irritating, and even dangerous. But sardines are different. Their bones are completely edible, soft, safe, and barely noticeable because the canning process pressure cooks them until they're so tender you can chew right through them without a second thought. And here's the surprising part, those little bones are nutritional gold. They're one of the richest natural sources of calcium you'll ever find in seafood. In fact, just 1 serving of sardines with bones can provide over 1/3 of your daily calcium needs. That's a huge boost for keeping your bones strong, your teeth healthy, and your muscles functioning properly. Even better, sardines also supply vitamin D, the very nutrient your body needs to absorb calcium efficiently. Together, calcium and vitamin D are a powerhouse combination for bone health, which becomes even more critical as we age. So when you remove the bones, you're not just creating extra work, you're actually throwing away nutrients your body truly needs. And the funny thing is, you don't even notice them when you eat. The bones are soft enough to blend seamlessly with the flesh of the fish. Most regular sardine eaters can't even tell where the meat ends and the bones begin. Now yes, there are brands that sell boneless sardines. But here's the catch: they usually cost more, and the deboning process often leaves you with broken pieces that look less appealing. Essentially, you're paying more money for less nutrition and worse presentation. The solution is simple: embrace the bones. They're safe, highly nutritious, and practically invisible once you start eating. Think of them as a hidden bonus, nature's way of making sardines one of the most nutrient-dense foods on the planet. And stick around, because later in this video I'll share who should actually be cautious with sardines. Mistake number 9. Choosing water-packed over oil-packed sardines. One of the biggest mistakes people make happens right in the grocery store aisle, picking sardines packed in water instead of oil. At first glance, water-packed might seem like the healthier choice. Fewer calories, a lighter texture. It sounds good, doesn't it? But here's the truth: sardines packed in water actually lose out on both flavor and nutrition. Sardines are naturally rich in healthy fats, especially omega-3 fatty acids. These are the same nutrients that reduce inflammation, lower the risk of heart disease, and support brain health. And here's something important: omega-3s are fat-soluble. That means your body absorbs them more efficiently when they're eaten alongside other fats. When sardines are packed in oil, especially high-quality oils like extra virgin olive oil, the fish not only soak up added flavor and stay moist, but they also help your body make better use of the omega-3s already inside the fish. On the other hand, water does nothing to preserve or enhance sardines. In fact, water-packed sardines often taste bland, dry, or even develop a metallic flavor over time. That happens because water doesn't protect the natural oils in the fish from oxidation. As those oils break down, both the taste and nutritional value decline. Oil, by contrast, acts as a natural barrier. It slows down oxidation, helping the fish stay fresher, tastier, and more nutrient-rich for longer. Yes, sardines packed in oil do have more calories. But let's be clear, these are the right kind of calories coming from heart-healthy fats. Better taste, better texture, and better nutrient absorption. So if you really want to get the most from your sardines, skip the water-packed tins and choose ones in high-quality oil. Mistake number 8. Leaving opened cans too long. Almost all of us have done this without thinking, leaving an open can of sardines sitting around for too long. Yes, sardines have an impressive shelf life when sealed, but the moment you pop that lid, the clock starts ticking. Once exposed to air, sardines begin to deteriorate quickly. The delicate oils inside the fish start to oxidize, which not only alters the flavor, but also breaks down omega-3 fatty acids, the very nutrients most of us eat sardines for in the first place. The longer you leave them open, the worse they taste and the less nutrition you get. How fast does this happen? It depends on how they're packed. Sardines in water lose quality the quickest, usually within 24 hours. Sardines in oil last a bit longer, about 2 to 3 days in the fridge. If they're packed in tomato sauce, you might stretch it to 4 days before the flavor turns off. But here's a rule you can't ignore after 1 week. No matter the type, sardines are spoiled and unsafe to eat. Another mistake people make is leaving the fish in the original can thinking it's fine. The problem is, once the can is open, tiny reactions between the metal and the air speed up spoilage. Food safety experts recommend transferring your sardines immediately into a clean, airtight glass or plastic container. This simple step keeps out air, slows nutrient loss, and prevents that unpleasant metallic aftertaste. Now, you could freeze sardines to make them last longer, but freezing changes the texture, leaving them softer and less appealing. Only open what you plan to eat within a couple of days. And always store leftovers properly. It's a small habit, but one that ensures every bite of your sardines stays safe, fresh, and full of the nutrition your body needs. Mistake number 7. Ignoring expiration and storage rules. It may seem like a small detail, but ignoring expiration dates and proper storage can make or break your sardine experience. Many people assume canned food lasts forever, but that's simply not true. When sealed and stored correctly, sardines can stay fresh for years. But here's the problem. Heat, light, and humidity are the enemies of canned fish. If you leave sardines sitting in a sunny kitchen window near a hot stove or in a damp pantry, you're speeding up the breakdown of both the can and the fish inside. Over time, the oils begin to oxidize, flavors turn sour, and the nutrients you're counting on start to degrade. Even worse, a damaged can opens the door for bacterial growth, making the sardines unsafe to eat. According to food safety guidelines from the U.S. Department of Agriculture, bulging or leaking cans should never be consumed as they can harbor dangerous toxins like Clostridium botulinum. And here's something most people don't realize: not all sardines age the same way. Those packed in tomato sauce or other acidic liquids break down faster than sardines packed in oil. That means if you buy a variety of types, you'll need to rotate your stock, use the acidic ones first, and save the oil-packed tins for longer storage. It's also essential to check the can before opening. If you see bulging rust dents along the seams or any leaks, don't take chances, throw it out. Think about it this way: sardines are one of the most affordable superfoods you can buy. Why waste them, or worse, risk your health just because of poor storage? With a little care, you can keep every can safe, fresh, and ready to deliver the powerful nutrition it promises. Mistake number 6. Eating only straight from the can. Sardines are one of the most convenient foods you'll ever find. Open the tin, and they're ready to eat, no prep required. But here's the downside: eating them plain right out of the can may be quick, yet it limits their flavor and makes it easy to get bored. The truth is, sardines are far more versatile than most people realize. Think of them not just as the final product, but as a building block for countless dishes. Mash them into a spread with a little yogurt, avocado, or olive oil, and you've got a protein-rich dip for bread or crackers. Put them on toast topped with capers, onions, or sliced tomatoes, and you've created a Mediterranean-style snack that feels gourmet but takes only minutes to prepare. They also shine in hot dishes. Toss sardines into pasta sauce for a burst of flavor and a dose of omega-3s. Add them at the very end of a stir-fry to boost protein without breaking them apart. Even pizza benefits from sardines. Their savory, salty flavor pairs beautifully with olives, peppers, and fresh herbs. Try folding sardines into scrambled eggs or an omelet. You'll start the day with a nutrient-packed meal that's high in protein and rich in healthy fats. Here's the best part: mixing things up isn't just good for taste, it's better for your health too. Pairing sardines with vegetables, grains, or other healthy fats actually helps your body absorb nutrients more efficiently. For example, vitamin C-rich foods like tomatoes or peppers can boost iron absorption from sardines. So while it's fine to enjoy them plain from time to time, don't limit yourself. Sardines are like a secret ingredient capable of upgrading countless meals with both flavor and nutrition. A little creativity in the kitchen ensures you'll never get tired of them, and you'll squeeze even more health benefits out of every can. Mistake number 5: thinking all sardines taste the same. Many people assume that sardines are all alike. Open any can, and you'll get the exact same taste. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Just like wine cheese or coffee, sardines vary widely in flavor, texture, and quality, depending on where they come from, how they're packed, and even the season they were caught. Take geography, for example. Atlantic sardines can taste noticeably different from Mediterranean or Pacific varieties because the temperature, diet, and environment of the fish all play a role. Cold water sardines, such as those from Norway, usually have a firmer texture and a cleaner taste, while sardines from warmer waters tend to be softer and richer. And even within the same region, timing matters. Sardines caught in the spring often taste lighter, while those harvested later in the year can be fattier and more flavorful. Packing methods also make a dramatic difference. Whether they're preserved in olive oil, tomato sauce, mustard, or plain water, the liquid transforms the flavor over time. For instance, Spanish and Portuguese sardines packed in high-quality olive oil are known to develop deeper, more complex flavors the longer they're stored. Processing techniques add yet another layer. Some producers lightly smoke their sardines, giving them a savory depth, while others preserve them in spiced oils or sauces. The point is, this assuming all sardines taste the same, and writing them off after one bad experience is a mistake. If you didn't enjoy a certain can, it may simply have been that particular variety or brand. Exploring different origins and pack styles can completely change your perspective. Sardines are not a one-size-fits-all food. Once you begin experimenting, you'll discover a whole world of flavors waiting inside those little tins. Mistake number 4. Pairing sardines with the wrong flavors. Sardines are bold little fish. Their rich oils and strong umami taste make them powerful ingredients. But that strength also means they need the right partners on the plate. One of the most common mistakes people make is pairing sardines with flavors that clash instead of balance. Here's the key: sardines thrive on contrast. Their natural richness is best matched with bright, fresh, or acidic ingredients that cut through the oiliness. Think lemon juice, vinegar, capers, tomatoes, or pickled vegetables. These sharp accents don't cover up the sardine flavor, they sharpen it, creating a dish that feels lively and balanced. Fresh herbs like parsley, dill, or cilantro can do the same, adding a burst of freshness that lightens the overall flavor. So what should you avoid? Heavy, creamy sauces, buttery dishes, or overly sweet pairings combined with oily sardines often becomes too rich, overwhelming your palate. And sweet ingredients like honey or fruit glazes tend to fight against sardines' natural saltiness, creating a clash instead of harmony. Sardines on toast with lemon and fresh herbs taste clean and satisfying. But sardines smothered in a heavy cheese sauce, the richness doubles up and quickly becomes overpowering. It's not that you can't experiment, but the balance has to be right. When you choose the right flavors, sardines transform from just fish in a can into a gourmet ingredient that feels fresh, vibrant, and unforgettable. Mistake number 3. Rinsing away. Taste and nutrition. This one may surprise you. One of the worst things you can do with sardines is rinsing them underwater before eating. A lot of people do it thinking they'll reduce the salt, the fat, or that so-called fishiness. But in reality, all you're doing is washing away flavor and sending valuable nutrients straight down the drain. When sardines are canned, the oil sauce or brine they're packed in isn't just filler. It's part of the preservation process. Over time, the fish and the liquid exchange flavors and important nutrients like fat-soluble vitamins and omega-3 fatty acids seep into that oil or sauce. If you rinse them, you're not only losing taste, you're stripping away those nutrients too. With oil-packed sardines, rinsing creates another problem. Oil and water don't mix, so when you try to wash them off, the fish often break apart, leaving you with slippery, shredded pieces that look and taste worse. The same goes for sardines packed in tomato or mustard sauce. Rinsing removes the tang and richness that balance the natural flavor of the fish. Yes, sardines can be salty, but rinsing doesn't fix that nearly as much as people think. The salt isn't just sitting on the surface. During canning, it's absorbed into the fish itself. You should buy low-sodium varieties or simply adjust the salt in the rest of your meal instead of ruining the sardines. When you rinse sardines, you're undoing months of carefully developed flavor and nutrition in just a few seconds. Embrace the brine oil or sauce. It's not a flaw, it's part of what makes sardines so special. Mistake number 2. Avoiding sardines because of fishiness. One of the biggest reasons people shy away from sardines is simple: they believe the fish tastes too fishy. But here's the truth: sardines are fish, and they're supposed to taste like it. The problem isn't the sardines themselves, it's how they're stored, prepared, or paired with other foods. Good sardines should taste clean, savory, and slightly briny like a fresh ocean breeze. If your sardines taste overly strong or unpleasant, chances are they weren't stored properly. They're past their prime, or their natural flavors weren't balanced the right way. The secret isn't to hide the flavor, but to enhance it. Acidic ingredients are your best ally. A squeeze of fresh lemon, a splash of vinegar, or even a spoonful of tomato sauce can cut through heaviness and brighten the entire dish. Fresh herbs like parsley, cilantro, or dill do the same, lifting the flavor instead of covering it up. Another key tip is to start with quality. Sardines packed in good olive oil or tomato sauce almost always taste cleaner and less overpowering than cheaper, poorly processed varieties. As nutrition experts point out, higher quality packing oils not only preserve flavor, but also protect valuable omega-3 fatty acids that support heart and brain health. If you rarely eat fish, sardines may taste strong at first, but over time your palate adjusts and you begin to notice their subtle sweetness and umami depth. So instead of writing sardines off as too fishy, experiment with pairings. Mix them into a fresh salad, brighten them with citrus, or pair them with crunchy vegetables. You may be surprised at how quickly that so-called fishiness transforms into a flavor you actually crave. Mistake number 1: throwing away the precious oil. This is without question the most costly mistake people make with sardines, draining the oil and pouring it down the sink. That golden liquid isn't waste. It's where some of the best flavor and nutrition live. When sardines are packed in oil, a slow exchange takes place inside the can. The fish release some of their natural juices into the oil, while the oil in turn infuses back into the fish. Over months of storage, that oil becomes rich with omega-3 fatty acids and fat-soluble vitamins like D and E, along with layers of concentrated umami flavor. In other words, it's liquid nutrition. When you throw it away, you're not just losing a few calories, you're discarding nutrients that protect your heart, brain, and immune system. And from a culinary perspective, you're tossing out a free flavor enhancer that professional chefs would be thrilled to use. So what can you do with it instead? Plenty. Drizzle it over salads in place of bottled dressing. Use it to sauté onions and garlic before adding pasta or rice. Stir it into soups or stews for a richer base. Or simply dip fresh bread into it with a squeeze of lemon and a sprinkle of herbs for a quick, heart-healthy appetizer. As sardine oil oxidizes slightly after opening, the flavor can actually deepen. When stored properly in the refrigerator for a few days, it adds even more complexity to your meals. Sardine oil is far too valuable to waste. It's packed with nutrition layered with flavor, and it comes free with every can you buy. So stop pouring it down the drain. Start treating it like the secret ingredient it truly is. Who should be careful while eating sardines? Sardines are without a doubt one of the healthiest foods you can eat. But like any powerful food, they're not for everyone. There are a few groups of people who should be especially cautious before making sardines a regular part of their diet. First, those with high blood pressure or salt sensitivity need to pay attention. Most canned sardines are packed in brine oil or sauces that contain a significant amount of sodium. Too much salt can raise blood pressure and strain the heart. If this sounds like you, choose low-sodium varieties. And pair your sardines with fresh vegetables or low-salt sides to balance out the meal. Second, anyone who struggles with gout or elevated uric acid levels should be cautious. Sardines are high in purines compounds that the body breaks down into uric acid. For people who are sensitive, excess uric acid can trigger painful gout flare-ups. That doesn't mean you can never enjoy sardines. It simply means moderation is key. Third, those who are prone to kidney stones, especially uric acid stones, may face a higher risk if they consume sardines too frequently. Again, it's not an outright ban, but it's wise to discuss it with your doctor before making sardines a staple in your diet. Finally, let's talk about pregnant women. The good news is that sardines are very low in mercury compared to larger fish like tuna or swordfish, making them one of the safest seafood options. Still, because they're often canned in brine or oil, it's smart to keep an eye on sodium and calorie intake if eaten often. For most healthy adults, sardines remain a fantastic food to include regularly. They're nutrient-dense, affordable, and incredibly versatile. But if you fall into one of these groups, it's best to enjoy them in moderation and balance them with other protein sources. To sum it up, sardines are one of the most underrated superfoods on the planet, but only if you handle them the right way. From choosing the right can to how you store, pair, and prepare them, even small mistakes can mean the difference between a wasted meal and a powerful boost of nutrition. Packed with protein, omega-3s, calcium, and vitamins, sardines can strengthen your heart, sharpen your brain, and support your bones, all while being one of the most affordable foods you can buy. Now, you know how to unlock their full potential and avoid the pitfalls that trip up most people. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss future tips on eating smarter and living healthier. Do you eat sardines regularly, or do you have a favorite way to prepare them? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching and being part of our community. And if you'd like to keep learning, we've picked out 2 more videos just for you.